Hello everyone and welcome to a new series. Not entirely sure what I'm going to call it. I'm considering calling it From Riches to Rags as a clever reference to my other series, because in this series I'm going to be talking about the records I've collected in the past month. And for anyone that collects records, you will know that they are very expensive unless you are some kind of god that knows exactly where to buy them. I'm not that person. I spend too much money. And yeah, I don't have that many at the moment, but you know, I think I've got enough to talk about for a while. So let's start with one of the best starts you can get. Yes, Close to the Edge. For anyone that's aware of Yes, normally their covers are really fantastic. It sounds like I'm slagging this one off in the first sentence, but they're really vibrant, a lot of magical landscapes shown. They're really a wonder. This one, not so much. It's quite basic. This is one of Yes's first albums, and my guess is it's before they got their normal illustrator to work on their albums. I think he's called Roger somebody, or somebody Dean, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, their first albums are quite basic in their look. The Yes album, their first one for example, or one of their first, just has them in the cover, basically, that's it, just like a photo. So this one's quite basic. I don't mind it though, for some reason I do like this one. It grows on you, even though it's incredibly basic, because all it is like this goldy kind of colour, but I still enjoy it. You can't see it very well, or at all, sorry about the reflection of my computer monitor, but the text here is like got a silver outline, so it's kind of reflecting with the light, so that's quite nice. Close to the Edge is one of the best prog rock albums you can get. Jazz is what I'm into, as you're probably aware from my main series and songs I use, the music I use, and I even have a video talking about jazz and anime. But prog rock was my first love. So these really long song, 20-minute long songs all the time, and they're kind of like it's this constant flow of melodic ideas weaving into this kind of single narrative. It's the idea of like, instead of having lyrics necessarily carry a song, you get to have this kind of story be told kind of through the instrumentation. The flow of the song in this one, Close to the Edge, is fantastic. Each act seamlessly blends together to create a fantastic experience once it's done. It really is an experience. That's one of the best ways you can talk about prog rock. They aren't the prog rock staple songs, these long ass songs. They aren't throwaway songs you hear once on the radio. You really need to you really properly immerse yourself when you hear them. So Close to the Edge is, for anyone into prog rock and wanting to understand what prog rock is, Close to the Edge is a fantastic song. Other songs on here are You and I believe, Siberian Katru, I'm not sure how to say that. It doesn't say in the back, and this is just off of memory, because I picked this up today, but I haven't actually listened to most of it. I just listened to Close to the Edge, which is one of the B-side, I think, I'm not entirely sure. Close to the Edge, a fantastic song. You and I and Siberian Katru, they're great as well, but they are overshadowed by Close to the Edge, which is iconic. It's one of the biggest songs they've done. I think the biggest is sorry for the cliffhanger there. The biggest is Owner of a Lonely Heart in the 80s, which is a typical song, and a typical kind of song you expect to get popular. Close to the Edge, not mainstream popularity perhaps, but it's definitely one of their best work. As you can see, it's a bit battered. This wasn't new, this was second hand, 850. It sounds quite nice. Maybe I'll have little cutaways between me showing off these albums when I put it on the record player, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's pretty damn fantastic, and I'm really happy I got to pick this up. It's half the price it is new quality. You know, it's not mint condition quality, but for what I paid, I can't complain, and I'm quite happy with this. Got it from a store near me called Made in Vinyl, and I think I'll be going back there in the future. Next up is an album from a band that a lot more people should be aware of. Pink Floyd. This is from one of their earlier works when Syd Barrett was in the band. I don't know that much about Pink Floyd, FYI, I just know a bit about their early work. Syd Barrett was off his nut on acid, and he created a couple albums that were just madness. I hope I'm not going to overuse this word, but this is an experience to listen to the early Pink Floyd songs. It's like incorporates, sounds into the music, not stuff you should really hear in a song. They've got a song called Pigs. It's fucking pigs snorting in it, for example. Time. Another one of their songs starts off with a bunch of bells going off. Basically, if you're high, you're on acid, you listen to this, it'll fuck you up, which is kind of the point of it. It's stoner music, really. As you expect from Syd Barrett, since he was a man very into his LSD. So yeah, the big song on this one, Echoes, is a kind of 20-minute song. I don't think this is prog rock. Psychedelic rock is most fitting, though they have done some prog rock songs, I believe. It's just some kind of idea with Echoes, though, a really long song incorporating a lot of melodic ideas. It's if you've got the right mindset to listen to, an experience, properly immerse yourself with good headphones, good speakers, it really uses stereo sound quite well. You really hear sounds just all around you when you're listening to something like this, and it is it showcases the best of what music can do, really. So that's a kind of me saying what's good about Pink Floyd in the early days. I don't like their later stuff, really. It's more I don't think they're bad or anything, but it's kind of like standard songs, really. Early stuff was mad genius when Syd Barrett was in the band. I think they cranked out 3 or 4 albums in the space of 2 years, and then he left. The stuff they produced was 10 out of 10. The main reason I got this was for the song One of These Days, which has one of the best bass lines I've ever heard. There's a 30-second segment with a really powerful bass line just on its own, and it is amazing stuff to listen to, which is the sole reason I bought this. Artwork is quite nice as well. Another one of the prog rock giants of the 70s, starting in the late 60s. Their debut album, I believe, King Crimson, in the court of the Crimson King. 2 reasons I got this. One, because I haven't really heard that much King Crimson and wanted to get into them a bit more. 2, look at the fucking album cover. A lot of people collect vinyl for the reasons of the look of it, and I think this is one of the best examples of a fantastic looking cover. This is by far the best vinyl cover, or record cover, that I have of the 3 that I've shown off so far. I've got a 4th one. King Crimson, the lyrics in their songs are really strong. The members of this band are pretty excellent. I believe there's Greg Lake on lyrics from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, or at least he was part of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, who did some fantastic songs. Tarkus is one of them, which is a really great prog rock song. Really awesome organ use in it. I think this band hit a midpoint between the really expert instrumentation of Yes and the wacky sound of Pink Floyd. This is like a really good band in the middle of those two. And apologies if you're screaming. There's a lot of people in this flat. But yeah, this manages to mix the two of those bands quite well. And yeah, lyrics are awesome in their songs, and I think anyone could really enjoy this if you like, rock music. And to end this prog rock special, we have The Polite Force. I was about to say The Police Force. Yeah, The Polite Force by Egg. Back in the 60s, they were a band that went from 1969 to about 1974, I believe. Notable members, they had Steve Hillage, briefly, not for their entire run, who was from Gong, another pretty famous band, who's still kicking. He's got a electronic group or something now, him and his wife. So, what's great about Egg is it's just brings out the best of prog rock, which is a badass Hammond organ. In all their songs, the Hammond organ really dominates. A lot of the time you can only really hear like a bass line, the organ and drums, and the playing in it is absolutely superb. It's got some of my favourite solos in prog rock. I'm really a big fan of their work, and it's a shame that they're very hard to obtain their albums. This is the only one that's in print at the moment. Like, you can buy new, like, easily. Egg albums, a bitch. You gotta get it second hand from Germany or something, or get a bootleg version. Egg albums are first one, and then there are other ones. They're available, but you'll have to pay like £50-70 to get them. I think they've got 4 albums overall, so I really just wanted to have one, so I can have their kind of playing style in my collection. I've not really heard this album. I've heard A Visit to Newport Hospital, which was a pretty great song. Before I said that King Crimson were in between Pink Floyd and Yes, that's true, but I think in a degree these guys are between those as well. Some of their songs are just noise, a bit like Pink Floyd, and I associate, when I think of Yes, I think of Rick Wakeman on keyboard. I think his playing style, because that's when I first started listening to prog rock, the keyboard from Yes was what stood out to me, so I have a correlation in my mind between Egg and Yes because of how awesome their keyboard players are. In hindsight, I think King Crimson, I think it's fair to say they're between those two, but they're also, I think they're this might sound like a buzzword or something, but they're a heavy, a very heavy sound. This is quite jazzy, which, I can get behind. I really like my jazz, and yeah, best of both worlds really. And that's sad. So I'm gonna give this one a listen, and I'll see you next month.